Wisconsin 1000 and hurry. Wisconsin 1000 and hurry. How many times that number, or one like it, is called every day, and always in a hurry, because that call means trouble, possible disaster. Who answers the call? Perhaps a carpenter, a taxi driver who knows the sound of that siren means come quickly. In all, in this community, 96 volunteers are ready to answer. 96 men led by an equipment dealer of Bethesda, Maryland, a town close to the capital of the United States. These men are not city employees. They are not paid by any government agency. They are not paid at all. They are men who have organized themselves into a volunteer rescue squad, one of many such squads throughout the United States, and one of the finest. Why have they organized? How are they trained? Where does this superb equipment come from? They have organized in answer to a need that exists wherever people live together in a community, a need for quick, skilled help in a moment of crisis. Why is there a need for a volunteer organization like this? Often the need exists because many municipal budgets cannot be stretched far enough to provide full-time emergency service like this. Sometimes the need is unfilled or only partially filled because regular departments, police, fire, do not have the men or equipment to fill it. Immediate disaster always means volunteer help, but few have the satisfaction which comes to these volunteers of the Bethesda Chevy Chase Rescue Squad.
Just like in the 40s and 50s, the volunteers had to go out, knock on doors, and get donations from the community to help the Bethesda Chevy Chase Rescue Squad to fulfill their mission, to make sure the training was top-notch and the equipment state-of-the-art. Sometimes, some of the people wanted to say yes.
No, I told him. Some other time, perhaps. But that some other time was going to be sooner than I knew. The following Sunday, in fact. In the hospital, I had time to do a lot of thinking. When Mr. Dunnington came in for a report of the accident, I suggested that maybe his squad could use money for new equipment. He told me they could always use money, but he'd rather see me down there helping out. Then almost before I knew it, I was taking examinations, studying, working harder than I had worked in a long time.
The rescue squad continued to grow. Some joined because of an experience like that of the businessman. Others because they just wanted to help. They found that being a member of the squad meant much more than just chasing down emergency calls. First, each must learn first aid until he can meet the standards of the Red Cross. Then he must learn to care for the equipment, to save time when time saved might mean a life saved. When a resuscitator is needed, he must know it's ready. Actually, a man learns that 90% of good rescue work is done here, in knowing how, in being prepared. All accidents, all calls are not automobile wrecks. The women of Bethesda found their places in the organization too. A household temporarily deprived of its mother needs care, and it gets care from the Women's Auxiliary to the rescue squad. Dunnington had not foreseen this group, yet when it was organized, it filled the final need. Because here the story gets told, not once, but many times. Here, money is raised to carry on the work. Through their efforts, through bingo games, bake sales, benefit suppers, much of the $35,000 fund annually needed is raised. With their help, the annual drive for funds moves smoothly, meets willing response. Volunteer funds for a volunteer rescue squad.